Elias Lindholm has revealed the truth about leaving the Calgary Flames. It's been a couple days now since he was shipped out to Vancouver, and a new report has just come out, and it shows how Lindholm actually feels about leaving Calgary. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But welcome to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're a Flames fan and you like what you see here, make sure you subscribe for all of the latest news, updates, and rumors surrounding the Calgary Flames. But like I said, the truth is out about how Elias actually feels about leaving Calgary. And for once, it's actually kind of nice to hear from a player. Here's the report. So Chris Johnson tweeted this morning that Lindholm says he never told the Flames he wouldn't sign a contract extension and that he was always willing to stay. And with what the Flames have been through in the past couple years, with players not being totally transparent as to whether they'd want to stay in Calgary, sign with Calgary, want to play here, or if they wanted to leave. It's kind of nice to get that transparency from Lindholm himself, saying he was always down to sign a contract here. He saw Calgary as a home, had some good years here, that kind of thing. So it's really nice to hear that Lindholm really did want to stay here. And it's no different from what has been known before, really, what's been reported before. So actually just this past summer, before this season started, there was so much controversy surrounding Lindholm, Backlund, Hanifin. Would the guys want to play here? Are they gone? Are they ever going to sign? That kind of thing. And there's actually a report in the summer that said that Flame center Elias Lindholm has said that he is willing to stay in Calgary. And it's funny because it's the exact same term, saying willing to stay. But it's funny, when I read it in this one, to me, it almost looks more like willing to stay sounds like, oh, if I have to kind of thing. Like, I'm willing to stay, but do I really want to? So it's all about context here. Am I willing to stay? If I have to stay in Calgary, I'll stay. It could be interpreted that way, but no. Now that he's actually gone, you can definitely interpret it as he was willing to stay here. He wanted to stay here kind of thing. He could have played in Calgary, and it hurts the heart a little to know, like, oh, we got rid of a guy that wanted to play here, a really good player. It's a little harder to come by these days to get a player who actually really, really wants to play here. But it's also heartwarming to know that someone did want to play in Calgary. Like I said, we've been through stuff with our superstars lately, which I'll get into right away. So some comparables of players leaving and how they left, what they said kind of thing. And there's two main guys I'm talking about here. It's the two guys that left after our great season and playoff run in 2021, but after we lost, of course, to the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs. Man, that hurt a lot. And what hurt even more was what came in the offseason. And the first man, of course, was our stud of the season after 115 points. Johnny Gaudreau decided, let's go to Columbus. And to make it even worse, he decided to do the unveiling in flip-flops. I mean, look at that guy, just ready for the summer. Jarmo Kekalainen looks like he doesn't even want to put his arm around him after he's letting the little piggies out. He's letting the dogs bark there. But as we know with Gaudreau, the Flames signed him a really, really good offer. 8 years. It would have been a boatload of money at $10 million a season. It would have been so much money. But he decided to go to Columbus instead for less money and a shorter term, but to be closer with family. So this is actually a quote that he said. So he said that his mind wasn't made up about leaving Calgary. And, even after he rejected the 8-year, even though he instantly went and signed the 7-year deal. But I think the quote that sticks most is that one at the bottom there that says, maybe that seems messy, but life is messy, And I don't know. If you're not Argentinian, I don't think life is messy, really. So, man, that's why it's different in the transparency. You see, Lindholm, transparent, said he would have been here. Gaudreau, us Flames fans were kind of blown away when he decided to sign in Columbus for less money. Gaudreau wasn't honest with the Flames. He wasn't honest with the fan base. We cared about him so much. Of course, any Flames fan wanted him to stay, and that kind of booted us back a bit as soon as he left. But, man, it's hard because Gaudreau kind of left on bad blood, and he's getting booed now that he's back, and that's not what I see with Lindholm. The other comparable is, of course, Matthew Tkachuk there on the right. He did things the right way, I'd say. He signed more of a bridge deal, and he was kind of transparent the whole time about leaving Calgary. It seemed like pretty much as soon as Gaudreau left, Tkachuk made it known, look, I'm on my way too, kind of thing. May I please have a trade? Can you get me out of here? And that's definitely a better way to go about it. That's I'd say a little closer to how Lindholm has done it. To Lindholm's truth is a lot more like Tkachuk's truth. But here's his quote. So his quote says, I put myself in a position with the last deal I signed to kind of reevaluate my life and my career at this stage. That's him saying that he took the bridge deal and it was time to look elsewhere. There's not a lot that went into it. There's no single reason why he left Calgary. At the end of the day, he wanted to reevaluate where he was at. And after talking to a few teams, he kind of came to that conclusion that he would be out of Calgary. So very, very interesting there. Again, Tkachuk, a lot more like Lindholm, I'd say, where it was more known that they were going to be on the leave. And that doesn't hurt as much as Flames fans, knowing that the player either A, didn't want to be here and left, or just known that they would be going and left. I mean, none of them are the same situation at all. Obviously, Gaudreau just left free agency, completely blindsided us. Tkachuk, more known, but got traded in the offseason kind of thing at the end of a contract. And then Lindholm is midway through the season as a big hot commodity, trade commodity in the trade season. So they're definitely comparable, but in no way are any of them one and the same. So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Are you happy with the way Lindholm has left? Are you guys, going to still support Lindholm? Maybe not as a Canuck, but just not being super angry with him or anything like that. And that's actually the last point that I want to touch on in this video is, will there be any bad blood with Lindholm? So as we know, as I just discussed, Gaudreau, he's getting booed every time he comes back to the Saddle Dome because of how he left. He wasn't honest. Tkachuk, not as many boos. Really, in his return, it was mostly cheers, I'd say. All three of these guys, Lindholm, Tkachuk, and Gaudreau, gave everything to the organization that they could, except maybe, a bit of honesty in there from some people. But what do you guys think? Is Lindholm going to be booed? So this is obviously him now. This was just yesterday as the all-star teams were picked. Lindholm got picked to the team with Nathan MacKinnon's team, which also had Cale Makar and Tate McRae as the captains there. And it was funny, too, because the way it was announced was that I think it was Tate McRae who said it. She said, my hometown team from Calgary, Alberta, but he just got traded, Elias Lindholm thing, which was, it kind of hurt a little bit because it was like, oh man, he should be our all-star, but now the Flames have none and he's in a Canucks jersey instead. And the Canucks have 6 all-stars. That really doesn't seem fair at all. It just looks like it's Toronto against Vancouver pretty much at the all-star game, which is fair since it's in Toronto, but all those Vancouver guys, man, and for one of us to join them. But either way, I believe that Lindholm will have a reception like this. He was happy in Calgary. He looks stoked there. You can't be angry with him. I think he'll get a good ovation. He'll get a great tribute video. I can't expect a lot of boos from him. It's not like a Gaudreau situation where he could have been with us and then decided to leave, or like a John Tavares when he left the Islanders, just gets booed senselessly whenever he goes to play against the Islanders. Now, of course, on the Leafs. I think Lindholm left in the right way, gave us what we needed from him while he was in the organization, and we got what we needed in return for him. So I think Craig Conroy did a great job. Lindholm, fantastic guy. I suggest that we cheer the next time he's in the Dome, and I really, really do like the guy, and I think he did what he could for the organization, and he was honest with us. He was always truthful. The Elias Lindholm truth is that he was willing to stay here, which is always nice to hear in Calgary. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe. If you're a big Flames fan, we'll be covering all the news, rumors, and updates, and all reactions to what happens with Calgary in the next little bit here throughout the trade season and all of that. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for the next upcoming videos and have a great rest of your day.